Well, welcome to the channel. It's Saturday. It's probably about noontime. I wanted to get out of the house a little bit today and just kind of get out and walk around a little bit and see what's going on and get some exercise and maybe work some of this food off that I ate in Lampang. And didn't really have any set place to go. Hadn't really thought about it much, so I figured I'd just start up here at Tha Phae Gate. As I was coming through, I saw some paintings and stuff up here. I thought I'd look at that and then maybe walk east on Tha Phae Road and just kind of look around a little bit. Things aren't really much different here. Doesn't seem to be that many people here. You know, the latest news was that they're going to start the test and go back around February. So maybe that'll bring some more people up here. I don't know. I think in general people are a little bit skeptical of traveling right now, especially to Thailand, and I really don't blame them. You know, stopping the test and go was probably a mistake, but you know, you never know. Anyway, I'll turn the camera around so you can see where we're at, and we'll look at this little paintings here for a while and then head east. I don't know what it is, but you know, not very many people moving around today. It's a beautiful day. It was like 66 degrees when I woke up this morning. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Can't get in the front of it because the front's all blocked off. White and gray, construction engineering. Huh. I don't know. It's all written in Thai, so I can't really tell what it says. But some beautiful pictures here. You get your pigeon chasers out, but let's start across the street. I'm going to adjust this camera a little bit, make it a little bit easier. Lampang was really nice. I had been there a couple times, but really hadn't walked around much, and I did some walks down there, and I'll put those videos up, you know, sometime next week or whenever I get around to it. But the city was, you know, Chiang Mai's got a lot of old houses around inside the city, but Lampang has a whole lot more. A lot of old buildings and a lot of history there, and quite a few more than Chiang Mai has. I was kind of amazed at it. But it was made for some really interesting walks. And the last guest house that we stayed at was a converted Thai-style house, which is really nice. It was really pretty and very comfortable. It's a guy putting his life in his own hands. Excuse me. But the air's not too bad today. It's, you know, we're coming into smoke season, but we haven't hit it yet. The last couple of days we've had quite a bit of rain, so it's cleared the air out pretty nice. Now usually these places are open, but they're not today. I was watching a couple podcasts this morning, and I was listening to a couple of them. One of them was Foreigner Joe, and the other one was No Time to Be Sad Chuck, and they were talking about housing and stuff. And you know, I admire Foreigner Joe for building a house. I mean, it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of energy, and it's a lot of money. Especially the one he built is really beautiful. But you know, there are people who criticized him and said he shouldn't do it, and you know, he's going to lose this and lose that. Well, no, that's not the case. You know, the case is the guy's come here and built a house. He plans on living here. you know, more power to him. I admire him for what he did. I did the same thing. You know, I've been here for 2 years, and Lek and I decided we wanted to stay here, so we went ahead and built a house. Spent a bunch of money, and I had no hesitation doing that whatsoever. You know, the thought of me not owning the house really meant nothing. You know, when you're in a relationship like that, there's a thing called trust. And I didn't have any qualms about spending the money. You know, I had to sign papers when we did the deed transfer that I didn't have any interest in it. It didn't bother me a bit. I just, you know, it's just one of the things that, part of life that you do. You know, and the sad thing is, and I'll put it in another perspective on how I feel. You know, you marry somebody that's, you know, 20 or even 30 years younger than you are, you're going to die before they do. I mean, that's just, you know, that's just common math, unless you have an accident or something like that. But, you know, there's a responsibility there after you're gone to make sure that they're, you know, they're taken care of. And he has done that, and I've done it too. And you know, like I said, I admire him for what he did. And, you know, when he dies, his wife or girlfriend or whatever she is, I don't know which one she is, but she'll have a nice house. And, you know, same with Lek. When I die, she'll have a house that's paid for and a place to live, and won't have to worry about too many things. And, you know, we got a lot of guys come here and they don't think about that when they marry somebody very, very young. And I've seen it happen several times where, you know, the foreigner has died and left his wife in just, you know, just a horrible situation. And, you know, I guess I kind of looked at that and I said, I don't want that for Lek. You know, and you know, it's just not fair. I mean, you have to think past yourself and think about, you know, how other people are going to survive. Because really, for a woman here, you know, between 35 and 60, there's not a lot of work here. You know, they're not going to have the lifestyle that they had with you, and they can't afford that lifestyle. I think we'll walk down this way, across the street. They're not going to have that lifestyle with you not here, unless you make arrangements for them. And if you don't, then you're being real selfish. That's my own 2 cents. You know, and I say that from experience because I've actually seen it happen. We had one lady that we were friends with, and she was in her early 40s, and she had married an American, and he was probably 67, 68. And he had bought a house and bought a car, and he financed it all. But, you know, when you finance something here, you don't finance it. Your wife does. You just guaranteed to pay for it. This is beautiful. And from this angle, I know I've walked through here before, but from this angle, this is so pretty. But he had paid some down on the house and was making monthly payments on, just like I'm doing. And I did that on the first house as well. And they did that on the car. I had a real nice car. And she didn't work, you know, she just stayed home and took care of him. Well, he started getting sick, and he got really, really sick. And the next thing you know, he's having a leg removed, and he's got diabetes, and he's in a wheelchair, and just in really, really bad shape. Wow, this is going to be nice. I think they were working on this the last time I came through. But anyway, to make a long story short, he died. And she had absolutely no income whatsoever. None. And she came to me and said, you know, what can I do? You know, I said, because at the embassy, they told her she could collect on his Social Security after he died, which is false. You know, in order to do that, she would have had to have lived with him as his wife in the United States for 5 years. And she hadn't done that. So she was pretty much between a rock and a hard spot. And I contacted the Social Security in Manila and, you know, tried to get her some help there. And I couldn't even get her the $250 burial payment that they give. And she was just, I mean, she was between a rock and a hard spot. I mean, in a really bad shape. And I didn't know how she was going to make it. Didn't think she would. And I didn't hear from her for a couple of weeks. And she was good friends with Lek and I. And one day we run into her, and she met somebody. And apparently she knew this guy before she met her deceased husband. And I guess they had remained friends. Well, anyway, he came over, and I mean, he bailed her out quick. He paid off her house, paid off her car, and even bought her another house, which was just freaked me out. I mean, you could not have gotten any more luckier than she did. And he's taken very good care of her. And nice guy too. I've met him a couple times. He's come over the house, and I've taken him out to eat a few times. A really, really nice guy. But that doesn't happen very often. And if you don't think about things like that, you know, the possibilities of that happening, then you're just living your life for yourself, and you're being very selfish. Fortunately for me, or actually for Lek, you know, she lived in the United States for 6 years and was married to me, and so she'll be able to collect on my Social Security when I die. And when she's 60. So if I die before she's 60, you know, she might have to get out and sell some noodles or something, but you know, she'll have a house that's paid for, a car that's paid for, and some money in the bank, and you know, she should do fairly well. But a lot of these guys, they don't think about that. They just, you know, they see that young girl and they, ooh, you know, I'm going to have a young wife, and and then you talk about the cultural differences too. You know, I mean, let's face it, guys. A 20 or 30-year-old woman thinks a whole lot different than we do. And, you know, it just, it may look good on the street, it may look good on paper, but there's going to be some issues. You know, you got to think with your head when you start doing things like that. Oh, this is a neat little place. Wow, I love that house. Sarah Guest House. I think we're going to come out. Yeah, I know exactly where we're going to come out. Swadee Kap. But yeah, they were giving Joe down the road for buying a house, and like I said, I admire the guy for what he's done. He's you know, made sure that she's going to be okay, and he's going to live good for, you know, his remaining years, and hopefully live a long life. But he's left his legacy, you know, and she'll be fine. Wow, one Tha Phae one and black cat, just what I need. Let's see where this is going to take us out. Well, if I go that way, I know where that's going to come out, and I don't want to go down there. So I think I'll just walk this way. But we had a great time in Lampang. The first night we stayed at kind of a normal hotel, and the only irritating thing about this hotel was they made you take your shoes off and wear these flip-flops before you could walk in the hotel. And the place where you kept your shoes was at the back of the hotel, so it made it kind of inconvenient when you had to go somewhere, because you always had to go out the back. Then if you wanted to come in the front, you had to walk around to the back and then come up the back way. So it's really kind of a pain in the butt. But other than that, it was located in a real nice spot right there on the street and close to Long Jim's Pizza, which is where I ate dinner 2 nights in a row, which is kind of odd for me. I usually don't like to eat at the same place, you know, day after day after day, but might be a while before I get back that way. So I like, so you can have pizza again. I said, okay. Well, I'm gonna try to get by this noise if I can. That doesn't look like it's much fun. Oh, they built a pool back. They got a pool back here now. We'll walk this alley. I'll walk up that way just a little ways and come out. But we had a great time. It wasn't that expensive. It was only 100 kilometers outside of Chiang Mai. Lek found some real good places to have noodle, and I had great pizza, and not a bad night's sleep. The first night the bed was a little bit hard. Second night it got a little bit softer. Yeah, we come right out on LaCroix. Good way, Chiang Mai. Huh. And nothing's open right now because it's too early in the day. I'm amazed at how many foreigners I see riding around up here with no helmet on. Just crazy. I guess you can, well, somebody left their helmet right there. I guess another one right there, probably inside the bar. But I guess if you can afford 500 baht every time they stop you, good for you. But we're gonna make it back to the car. And go relax. One of the things that they've changed on the test and go thing, when they started back up in February, they've already said you're gonna have to test on day 1 and day 5. So you can come here, and on day 1, you know, you test and you get a negative test. You're free to go, but you have to go someplace where they can test you on day 5. And whether that means you have to go to an ASQ hotel or not, I really don't know. They haven't really published the criteria yet, but I'm sure that, you know, it's going to happen. And my hopes are by August, September, then the restrictions are going to be lifted. You know, you may have to test when you get off the plane, and maybe that'll be it. Poor guy's just made his home here. I have got to get out more and exercise more. What is that? What kind of noodle stand? I've not stepped on a scale in quite a while, and I'm afraid to. And the bad thing is right now is smoke season's coming, and once it gets here, you really don't want to do much exercising. You don't want to be out and about in this crap, because it's really, I'll show you, but it's really crappy. And you know, you have to put up with it for 3 months. And after that, you know, once we start getting the first rains in April and May, and it goes away. That guy's going to stop right there and box me in. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this little walk around, and you know, it is what it is. But anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Y'all take care. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.